right, guys, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, everyone, to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of Gar Capital. It is Wednesday, August 30th, 2023. I apologize for the noise. It's very windy here in Central Florida. No hurricane here, obviously. That's more towards the west end of the state. Wind, you can probably hear it. My apologies again. But I know you guys like the videos, so I want to make sure that we do it and go over a couple things. But again, if you hear some noise, wind noise, that's just the wind coming in, man. So my apologies there. I don't have like noise cancellation studio here. Just me, the webcam, and you. That's pretty much it. Good morning, everybody. 34,925 on futures on the Dow this morning. NASDAQ just turned red. S&P is flat, 4506. NASDAQ 15,409. Didn't break the alert I was looking for. Russell 1893, that's down about 0.29%. The volatility index down about 0.07%, 1444. Dollar index is down after we had some data. We had some GDP numbers come out. 103.17 down 0.34%. Yields pulling back below 4.1% on a 10-year basis, 4.08% currently. Crude oil is taking a bounce on a survey that Saudi was going to continue their cuts. Saudi Arabia, 81.62 per barrel on crude oil. $2.55 for gasoline futures, down about a quarter point. Gold is up 0.35%, 1972. Thank you, dollar. 25.26 for silver futures. That's up this morning, 0.5%. Copper futures, $3.84, up 0.12%. Euro dollar up 33 pips, 109.13. 145.90 for the dollar yen. That's flat. 127.05. 61 pips for pound dollar. Bitcoin futures, again, we had the big spike on that grayscale Bitcoin trust getting, I guess, getting away from the SEC and approving the ETF, I believe. 27,530, that's down 1.71%. 1722 for Ethereum, down 1.12%. Headlines are nice, but that really doesn't change anything for us. Let's go and answer some questions. Good morning, team. Update in the BA trade. I know premium signals got out, but I switched to premium after the market closed, so I still have BA. Yeah, let's take a look at it. We got up for 7%, and for good reason. The good news is that you're starting to bounce a little bit. So, Joey, what you really need is to get above here, 228.46. That's the 200 moving average on the hourly. This is where we got out. You were basic earlier, so again, I told premium when to get out. This is on the Discord channel. You could see it here. Boeing was just back and forth. I got 5%, but 7% right at 11:38 a.m. That 200 MA 1 hour is hard resistance. So even with S&P breaking above 4,500, Boeing was just not getting love. So just glad that we took that for something. But again, Joey, you need to get above 228.46 to get to 230. Good morning. Stay safe from the hurricane. Yeah, again, it's just wind here. Not a big deal, but the power may go out here and there, maybe. Other than that, not really worried too much. Really, all the thoughts and prayers are for the people on the West Coast and the Panhandle. They're the ones that are really getting it. Remember, we just had a hurricane last year, Hurricane Ian. So another one, I mean, it gets to the point that, wow, it's very sad to just get current hurricanes and storms constantly on your home. Definitely doesn't feel good. So QQQ, I was looking at for that break. I'm going to go ahead and wait for that 376.18 level. That's the recent wick highs. If we get there, then I want to take a look at the 380 calls, either for next week or for Friday, and we can play momentum. But again, we also talked about that momentum may just pull back. Yesterday was a great day. Market soared. We expected it. We were talking about that third to last day in August. Tends to be pretty strong, 20 years in a row now, and we caught it. We did it very well. So for Qs, that's on my watch list today, 376.18 for a break. Watch list and charts, guys, premium and masterclass. You already know. I'm going to keep you guys updated on the watch list and charts, basically the new play-by-play throughout the day. So I'm going to keep it as watch list and charts, but again, if you see a lot of updates, it's because I'm updating you guys constantly. It's kind of a trade blog, not a market blog. So just kind of think of it that way. So if you see me typing a lot, it's really pertinent information on the positions we have open and what I'm watching. So again, you need to keep your eyes on watch lists and charts. I will make sure to tag everyone who has access to it when something important really comes in. Let's see, Tesla thoughts. Tesla we played yesterday. I think we got as high as nearly 200%. I got 191% and I got out. We played the 250 calls. They are in the money, pulling back a little bit. I'm glad that we took our gains. We are above that trend line on the daily. You can see we are now hitting the 50. The 50 DMA needs to break. So we want to get to 257.62, not even. If you break the 50, you have a green trend line that I drew, and that's the clean one. Look at that. 3. We broke above it, but again, that's going to be our target, 266. So with that being said, could we do the 270s calls? Yes, we could. But let's just wait it out, get confirmation. Let's do 259. That gets us a couple of bucks above the target. We'll have $10 to play with, and maybe we could buy some time. There's a huge gap to fill, guys, on Tesla. Take a look at this. Right there, you got that gap to fill. That's that earnings gap. So 288, we could play this all the way back up. So don't feel like you're going to miss anything out on Tesla. I do like this chart. Let's see if we get above 259 to 260. So we can play the 270 calls. Maybe we buy some time for next week. The problem is that Monday is a holiday as well. So that's Labor Day. So we're going to lose a day. So let's kind of weigh the risk reward here. We don't need to press the issue. Masterclass, I also sent him out Apple calls. We got that for 40%. So so far so good this week. Futures also caught S&P 500 futures as well. So we'll see if we can add to that this week. Oh, thank you. Safe here again. Just wind, no big deal. Shopify thoughts. Let's see the chart. Assuming it bounced up nicely yesterday, you're now above the 100-day moving average, which is very nice. The problem is that I want to get above the 50. So I rather wait for confirmation on the 50 at around 61.61, and then we could play 64 to 66 calls to the upside. But if you're really looking for more confirmation, I mean, you could literally do the 59s and go to 62, but that's not a lot of room. I think 61 to 64 gives you a little more extra here. And again, we're just playing that resistance that we had back in May. That's been kind of hovering around. We're just going to kind of target that zone. Is it the best RR? It really depends. We're going to have to use the 20-day as our support, the 20-day moving average. But you can see how the 20-day sliced below the 50 and the 100. That's not a good sign either. So it's good to see a bounce, but we need some of those moving averages to curl up a little higher. So I would wait for the 50-day, 61.54, before I do anything on Shopify. NEO had their earnings report and didn't do that great, at least from what I saw, but we bounced off the 100 and the 200. Again, just pretty much just sideways action. You're really not doing much until you get above 11.4. Again, that's that 50-day moving average. And if that breaks, you got $12.33 as your next target for the 20, and you also have a gap to fill here at 13.16. So NEO's kind of setting up for us to do something, but problem two is that you're possibly setting up for a head and shoulders, and you need to break 11.41 to confirm that invalidation of that break. All right, so we'll go ahead and leave it there, guys. Not much to do today. We really don't have any options risk out there. What I'm looking for on the S&P is continuation. And again, we already invalidated that left and right hand shoulder. 1, 2, 3. So at least we got above there. We're above the 50. We need a little more room. 15.15. That's where I was long ES. I am long. I'm looking for 45.50 for continuance. We talked about Qs. Let's take a look at NASDAQ futures. Very similar. Kind of that head and shoulder setup. But we need to get above 15.475 to give us anything to really mess with in terms of this chart here. So what you hear is really my roof. We're getting the roof fixed, and the problem is that as we're getting the contractors to fix it, it started storming, and we have a tarp. So imagine that flying, and you hear all that. The wind is not really doing me any favors here as a homeowner today with all that noise. So again, my apologies on that. Not very professional to hear glung 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 in the background. But the show must go on, and as long as the market's open and I have internet access, I am ready to rock. So I'm going to go check the back and see what's going on up there. But that wind is killer right now, about 18 miles an hour currently. Let's see if it kind of dies down. But I'll keep an eye on the markets as always, keep you guys updated on the blog. If you haven't joined already, link is below on our Discord channel. Thanks for your time as always. Have a great rest of your morning. Hope everyone on the west side of Florida and the Panhandle stay safe, and let's hope for the best. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Cheers.